Hey there, James Gore, your county supervisor. It's Monday, June 10th. We just had a special meeting for the Board of Supervisors. The rest of this week is going to be budget deliberation, so it's a big time for us. We're going to be sitting in these chairs for 8 hours a day, going through, making decisions on investments in the community, issues we want to really address, areas where we need to increase staffing, kind of the big budget deliberations. But high level first, our meeting today addressed 3 issues that we've heard a lot from the community on, and we've been thinking about 2. So I wanted to give a brief overview. Number 1, we reviewed Sonoma County Animal Services. Sonoma County, what a lot of people would consider an animal shelter, is called Sonoma County Animal Services. And I've been asking for a long time and championing, for those of you who know, increased investment in the facility, in the offices, and also to get the right staffing in that area. So the Animal Services building is over near the airport, in the Sonoma County Airport. And if you've been there, you know that they do great work. They do spay and neutering. They have a kennel over there that we have to accept animals from all over. They're great people who do great work. The facilities have been downgrading over the years. Last year's budget, I really pushed for an estimation to come forward and for us to start to plan and put money away for a rehab. Today, Animal Services came forward and they requested $4 million for an entire rebuild project. We're going to start that with $300,000 for a design phase, and then look at the board, our Board of Supervisors, to put $2 million towards initial rehab, and then $2 million in addition to that. So that would be $4.3 million total. The money isn't already decided on all of that, but we do have an item coming forward to approve the $300,000 this week, and so I feel confident that'll go through, and then I feel confident that we're going to continue to fight, and we will get that funding. So that's a great thing for Animal Services going forward. Second thing, big issue came before us, which has been advocating out in the community to us. It's groups like Generation Housing and a lot of different individuals, business owners, individuals who are in housing, who are looking for housing. There's been a big movement to try and have the county and cities and embrace a reduction in impact fees. Impact fees are fees that are charged to new developments. It's things like, if we're going to build new housing, well, we have to have a fee associated that goes to regional parks, to the build out of the parks for that. We have a fee that goes towards transportation and public works projects, for the impact on our roads and our bridges. And then also there's things that are called connection fees, but they're also added, and those are for sewer and water. So in Sonoma County, impact fees can really go towards, from our staff report today, can cost up to 6 to 20% of the total valuation cost of something being built. I'm very strong on us reforming those and decreasing those, because we need to make sure that our impact fees for housing development are not creating an impact, which is less housing being built. Housing is one of the biggest issues here in Sonoma County. This is not a silver bullet, but this is something that we can act upon as a board. Had a very strong deliberation at the board. That's going to come back to us probably after budget, with some policy options for us to look at, either waiving or reducing these fees or adjusting them for square footage. Back to this idea of why is the same impact fee being paid for a unit that's 1,000 square feet as much as a McMansion that's at 5,000 square feet. Doesn't make sense. A lot of times people say the reasons those impact fees are in place is because it's about the number of people, not just like how big the house is. But let's be real. If we're trying to build affordable housing, middle income housing, all these other things, anything that we do that increases the cost of that housing puts us in a limitation. This is already a low growth to no growth community. We're talking about areas that are designated for housing and building them out appropriately. So I'm going to keep leaning in on this. We're going to move forward with this, and I'm a big fan of not just waiting for the perfect scenario, but taking imperfect, relentless action. And this is something that we can do. Third thing, and we'll post a different video about it, but we had a presentation from Mark Hine, the chief of Sonoma County Fire, Ben Nichols, the division chief for Cal Fire, and Jeff Duvall, the our department director for emergency management here. And we had a wildfire prep season, looking at right now is the designation of fire season starting. for everybody to know out there, high level is that we've had good rain the last couple of years. Groundwater's been good. The penetration into our groundwater reserves, our aquifers has been excellent. We have a lot of grass out there. Our projections in terms of drought and in terms of things like red flag warnings is very good, but as we know, the fall is really the time where we worry about what we would call these offshore winds, these winds coming east to west, these dry, heavy, big winds that are called Diablo winds, equivalent to Santa Ana winds down in the south, that come and caused really the biggest damage in our big fires in 2017 with the Tubbs, Nuns, and Pocket Fire, in 2019 with the Kincaid Fire, and in 2020 with the Walbridge Fire, the Myers-Grade Fire, the Class Fire, and others. So we're looking really good, but our system is set up to be able to evacuate people if necessary. You all in Sonoma County have done amazing work to prepare yourself, prepare your family, do vegetation management, have go bags, have a plan. But now it's time just to be prepared and be vigilant, not to be fearful. So reminder that over the course of the year, if you hear something being noticed called a fire watch warning, that means that there's an expected weather event that over the course of 12 to 72 hours could bring heightened fire conditions or will bring heightened fire conditions. Sometimes a fire weather watch will be followed up with a red flag warning, and that means high winds, low humidity, and high temperature. And also, when we have an abundance of fuel and grasses that can go into different areas, those can move quickly. So a reminder to everybody that if you see smoke in the air, if you smell it, we're still doing prescribed fires. This is still the time of the season to do prescribed fires under the appropriate conditions. But the real thing is be informed, once again, not in a panic mode. And if you are worried about a fire or the weather or about smoke, Google Sonoma County red flag warning, see if it's a red flag warning condition. We do send updates and post updates, but we don't send text pushes to everybody unless there's an active incident and an active fire. So thank you all for tuning in. A lot of big stuff today, a lot of big stuff coming up later this week, but always in the pursuit of imperfect, relentless progress here in local government. Thank you very much.